It is open, my friends, while toils have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Welcome back, everybody. Last week we had our wonderful journeys from Pallius to Ariosted, and as always, Admiral Sabre took them for their money. What a good job. Sticking true to character there, and that's not even through actual attempts. That's just Nosby. But now they find themselves having acquired some extra filters for their gas masks, those of them that need them, heading from Ariosted up to the Glogshap Swamps. It is a day's journey to that point, so we are gonna need someone to roll a percentile dice.
Me!
Go for it. We're in regions we have not explored yet, so each day we do an encounter roll to see if anything actually happens. What'd you get?
That's a 4.
Ooh. Tune in next week for our new party.
Exactly. Good lord. Of a percentile dice to roll, 4 is a ridiculous number to roll.
Okay. Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. What were your watches during that night's sleep? There we go. Got it right. So, for that
The
day's
whole time.
journey, up the whole time, anyone else doing any watches? You do all know that BT doesn't have to sleep, so they can watch the whole time, but doing first watch, taking one.
I'm just gonna get my sleep on.
Just gotta get your sleep on, okay? How about
Knowing
Iago?
what's to come, Iago will also get his sleep on.
What portion are you doing then now? Are you staying up later than everyone else, or are you gonna wake up earlier?
I'm staying up later, just in case, because this is a unknown territory.
Okay. And the two of you give me some perception checks.
Oof.
Ooh.
I was powered down for some reason. I don't know.
16.
16.
That's a good thing somebody else was up at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So BT, yeah, you get nothing. You're busy, let's say, going through the next dialogue download to be able to feed Iago. So you've got things running inside your head, and you're focusing on that. Now, while you're starting to prepare for some sleep, just off deeper into the woods from your encampment, you do hear a slight rustle. Like something just shifted in the woods.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Instead of waking everyone up immediately, I'm going to go to the edge of the encampment in the direction of the noise. And I am going to stare directly in the direction that the noise was moving to with an intimidation check.
Okay.
Of 18. That was 2 11s back to back on my die.
Nice.
Eek.
You just stare daggers into the darkness. Don't see anything. From that direction, you do hear another rustle of movement. But you're not seeing anything move.
Okay, I'm gonna hold fast, but I am going to. I'm gonna ready up. As a reaction, if I take damage, I'm going to ready up Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
So it's a reaction to taking damage. So I have to
Yes.
take
Yeah.
damage first
Yeah.
in order to do it. But that's
Yeah.
what I ready up.
You're preparing yourself for something poorly to go down. At this point, BT, you would realize that Nal is just standing and staring off into the darkness of the forest.
I guess I'll do an enhanced scan.
There's
Enhance.
Enhance.
it's I always imagine the switch, like the
It's
Predator
the
switch.
powered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This like life just starts to look a little differently.
Primordial enhancement on.
There's a lot of life around you. It's a big forest.
Is there anything that's not moving that's kind of in the same area he's looking?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Ooh,
Oh, that'll be a 23.
23.
Nice.
You're carefully examining. There's a lot of trees, a lot of shrubbery, a lot of wildlife. So, I mean, your primordial vision is just blaring at you like bright and deer in headlights almost. But you do see like some weird circular shapes off in the forest that are distinct from everything else in a minor way. One of them does shift, and now you hear again, and you BT for the first time, just a shifting sound in the forest. No
We
other
are
movement,
in the
but
edge of
you're
the
close
Gobshak,
to. The 3-hour delay put you about an hour or so outside of the Globshak swamps. So you're still in a standardized forest, but you are pretty close. It's not unheard of that things wander from the swamps into the forest.
I will walk over to Hugo and nudge him.
Iago, you
Squeak,
are awake.
squeak.
Yago. Say we might have a visitor.
Visitor?
Unknown thing out there approaching
Where?
camp. Look where Now is staring.
Iago looks over where Now's looking into. I have dark vision. I
Yeah.
see anything.
So do I. So do I. I have dark vision, 60 feet. I need everyone to understand that.
Give me a perception check, Iago.
Perception. Oh, that's a massive 7.
A massive 7. You just see forest, shrubberies. That's it. There's nothing from what you can tell.
Iago rubs his eyes sleepily and then looks back at BT. What?
Something's out there. I don't know. Just preparing just in case.
At that time as well, BT, you will see that another one of those round shapes just shifts again. And you're getting the sense it's kind of a round shape that's just rolling ever so slightly.
I'll describe it to Yago.
Does it sound familiar to me?
Give me a history check.
That is a natural 1 for a total
Oof.
of 4.
Oof.
You have no idea what this is.
Yago will shake his head slowly and then say, I do not know.
Your choice.
Awaken
I-
Snozboop, be ready.
No.
Okay.
Without listening to anything that's happening behind me, I am going to take a few steps in the direction of the noise, and I'm gripping the handle to my axe behind my back as I do.
Okay. You take
Still, my readied reaction is Hell's Rebuke still, but
You take a few steps into the forest. About 30 feet from you now, you hear another slight shift. And BT, you'll see a different one of the round objects. Counting now, you can see that there's about 23 of these distinct objects, BT. You now still don't fully see what's going on. You just hear where it's coming from.
But
I
these
mean,
round
I have
objects
60 feet of dark vision, so come on now.
Shrubbery,
are.
wildlife, blocking your view.
Yeah, but these things are registering as life forms.
They are.
Round object life forms rolling around. Huh. I'm just going to continue to watch to see when now disappears.
After a
They're
certain
not
amount of
doing
time,
anything bad yet.
after a handful of steps, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to take the axe fully out, and I'm going to hold it in both hands. And just because in general it's the only other language I know, in Infernal, I'm going to say, whatever you're going to do it now, so I can have some fun.
Give me a perception check now.
As he's doing that, Yago looks over at BT and says, what language is that?
21.
21.
Oh,
You, as you finish your sentence, you see something just through a gap in between some trees and some shrubbery. Something shift and move. It doesn't keep moving. You'd need to get a little closer to see exactly
No.
what it is, but
Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope to God this intimidation does well. But as I set into motion with this axe and bring it up over my head, I'm going to go.
like I know all that
Yes.
stuff.
Oh. 24 intimidation.
24. You do that and hear another shift. But what you know to be a very intimidating scene doesn't produce anything else. No one's running away, no one's charging at you. It was just another shift.
probably just chaos. But anyway.
Okay, seeing no shift, no change, no nothing. Because no matter how aggressive I am a con man first and foremost. In the same time it took me to do the intimidation and blah blah blah, I'm just going to fully relax, put the axe back, and just say out loud to everyone, if whatever was gonna do whatever it wanted to do, it would have done it by now. I'm gonna walk
True,
back to
but
the
there's
camp,
23 of them
lay
out
down.
there, and they are alive.
I'm just going back to the camp and I'm gonna lay down.
What's the closest one? How far away?
It's about 40 feet from you.
Move 10 feet closer.
You're 10 feet closer. Okay. Give me a perception check. See if you've got a good line of sight from it.
It would be a
Deal.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. With your enhanced sights and being able to pinpoint exactly where one is, you can get around to a little bit of an area and you hear the shift and movement of one again as you're adjusting your area. You can see very plainly what looks to be a melon. Like a watermelon. And it just
It's alive.
shifts and rolls slightly. But it's
A plant
registering as
wouldn't
alive.
register. A plant wouldn't register as a life form.
Not like this. I mean, you have the basic understanding that when you look at plants, they do register as like a form of life form, as it is
Yeah.
a living entity, but this is different. Very distinctly different.
And it's 30 feet away.
Yep, it's 30 feet away from you.
I look back at camp. What's now and Hugo doing?
Now is quickly falling asleep.
Iago
Yaga.
has stood up and is looking like he's ready to do pretty much anything, but he's just watching you. Or where you went.
Misty stepped next to it.
You, Yogo, you see, hi, it's the doggo. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. Yogo, as you're watching BT, he just poofs into a cloud of mist and disappears. And BT, you step right next to it. And you can see it's just a bunch of these melons. One of them occasionally rolling, getting like 2 inches closer to where the camp is.
Vines
No vines.
to a central location.
Not that you
Just a
can see.
free-
Nothing. Just a
Free rolling melon.
free rolling melon.
23 of them. Slowly
23 of them.
rolling closer to camp.
Yep. This is what a 4% got everyone.
Softly, without trying to damage it, roll it away from camp.
Okay. You softly roll it away. First thing, I do need a strength check.
Strength check?
A strength check.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's everyone gets one today.
Everyone gets a natural 20.
We need Iago to roll more so he can get his.
A natural 20 with a 20 strength. Yeah, anyway.
You successfully. The first thing you notice, this thing, according to everything you know about melons, is maybe 10 times heavier than what a melon should weigh like. It's difficult to move. Your first thought would be Schnozboop would not be able to move one of these things. He's probably not strong enough. It rolls a couple of inches back and just sits there. And a few seconds pass by and it rolls 2 inches closer again.
I can bond with it.
It has to be willing, right?
Yeah.
It's not willing.
But there is something there that rejects it.
There's something there that rejects it.
Look, I know you're alive somehow. You want to tell me what you're up to? You and your friends?
There's no reply, but give me an insight check.
Oh, something that's a dead even roll. Okay. And we go back to dead even
Dead
10.
even 10. It's high
Oh
enough to tell.
Christ, guys!
You would need something
Oh,
like to speak with animals to talk to this thing.
by the gods, guys! By the gods!
What, you know what it is now?
No, I don't. I'm just saying our roles have been boom
All over
Yeah.
the
and
place.
boom, boom and boom.
Yeah. Given how much they're rolling, calculate how much time we have before they're in camp.
Would be about early dawn. They'll be rolling into camp.
Okay. I'll head back to camp. Tell Yago what I have discovered. They're alive somehow, but it must be some type of animal. Look like a melon, but 10 times heavier. Won't speak common or like that. So we've got until morning before they get here at the current rate. I'll watch them all night. I don't know.
Does this thing sound familiar now?
You rolled a natural 1.
I know, so obviously not.
I'm gonna give you a history check at disadvantage.
Okay.
2 natural 20s. Yay.
Well, I mean, close, but no. At disadvantage, I'll be taking an 18 instead of a 19.
An 18. Okay.
But that's 21 total.
21 total. Alright. There's a vague memory. It's not something you've encountered before, but it's something one of you. It's a story that you've heard from the caravanning times. On occasion, these things. There's. How to explain it? There is an occasion where a caravan had to stop its travel for a number of hours because something got in the way. Now, what caught your attention is, well, what gets in the way for a few hours? You're not remembering what they're called, but you are remembering that these things are not violent, but disturbing them, probably not the best idea. You just didn't get the information as to why. But they sound like what would be described as a rocky tumbleweed incident.
Nodding, Iago will look back at BT and then say, just wake us if they start coming, directly towards one of us. Otherwise, let them roll through. Perhaps don't disturb them. And then he will lay down and promptly fall back to sleep.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the encampment,
Snore. Well, everyone can mark off a long rest. By the time people are starting to wake up, BT, those things have rolled to the edge of your camp. And they're just casually, lazily rolling. A couple of inches at a
When
time.
Snoz wakes up, I will inform him of our benign, peaceful visitors that are rolling through. And we've been told just to let them be.
Well, easily enough. Thanks for handling that big today.
tumble
Needed
and
that
tumbleweeds, as the song goes. Okay.
I'm gonna roll a percentile die for a heart attack.
That's right.
I mean, technically, any male over a certain age in this group should be taking. Oh, I'm nowhere near that age. But
What's your roll?
oh,
Oh no! Oh
Well,
no! So
hot one.
this section of the campaign promptly comes to an end as our
When the
benefactor
campaign
falls
ends.
over dead.
he just no, he doesn't fall over dead. He just doesn't wake up.
He has a heart attack. Doesn't mean we can't revive him.
That's true. That's true.
Anybody got Revivify?
So, first off,
Clear.
first off,
I got tasers.
let's
yeah, we could go the
everyone
old-fashioned way.
roll a perception check except for you, Snotspoop.
Man, oh man, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
21.
21.
Yeah, I'm gonna get really close to 20, but not quite reach 20 repeatedly now. Since you've mentioned getting nat 20s, I rolled a 19 for a total of 21. Sorry, perception. You said? Yeah, 21.
Yeah. You'll notice it first, probably, BT, having him tuned into your senses. An irregular fluctuation to him. Schnozzboop, you feel a very discomforting sensation in your left side. And your left hand is going a little numb.
Do I know the possibility of what's going on here? Has he
Well,
mentioned this before?
while you're running through some features, recognizing that something's wrong, you're seeing now that he's starting to sweat quite a bit, and there's a strange look forming on Schnozzboop's face.
Is he going like in the bed? Is he like
that depends. Schnozzboop, what are you doing right now? Now that you're feeling these sensations and starting to hurt.
I've been told it's like an elephant sitting on your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So I will grab my chest and start to sort of twitch.
Oh, by the gods, he's having a heart attack. All right, he's the one that grabbed those healing potions, right? I asked the rest of the group.
Yes.
I'm going to proceed to pop one of those, open up your mouth forcefully if need be. I will make a strength check and just pour that down your gullet.
Just before you're about to do that, you do get BT as it goes through when you hear now say that your records do show that healing potions, they're not going to stop this. It's not actually going to do anything.
Okay. Taser shot?
There's a chance to it. When you get up to him, you can prep yourself for it. Do you stop him pouring out the health potion, or you letting him do that?
Yes, I'll say the health potion's not going to do anything.
There's like
Don't
a
waste
drop
it.
that goes in, and I go, okay. While
Clear.
he's doing that, can I do a nature check, even though I'm at -1?
This would be a medicine check.
No, a nature check, because aspirin comes from the barks of trees, guys, and aspirin is a blood thinner. I am doing a nature check.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, that is an unnatural 1 with a 2 on the die and a -1 to nature.
All you immediately realize
Nothing around here.
is that there is suddenly a block of melons, or a patch of melons right at your camp, and you just get stopped by that sight for a good solid few seconds. For yourself, BT, give me a medicine check. We're not going to give any advantage or anything, just...
Oof. Oof.
That's a straight up, so 12.
Straight up 12. Okay, so you bring your pads around, paws around, and give Schnorsboop a quick shock. Now, Schnoz,
Clear?
you feel this jostle through your body. That's also not comfortable. It's like getting electrocuted, but less so than a lightning bolt. But
Okay.
you've experienced worse feelings, like what you're going through right now. This jostle, I need you to roll another percentile dice. When you first started doing this, I was like, I'm going to make a method because I know people are going to want to save him and not let him just die of it. So we're going to have to go through that.
85?
85. All right. The feeling of something sitting on your chest lightens. You begin to feel sensations again. You are charred and injured. BT, do roll damage for your normal electric paw attack.
Okay. Let's see here. Attack. Paw. 2d8. 12 plus 5, 17.
Schnorsboop, you do take 17 points of damage. That's a lightning
What
damage.
kind?
Electric.
Is it a lightning?
That would be lightning.
It's lightning, technically.
That
yes.
would
I
be
have
lightning.
resistance to lightning.
So 6.
Ooh,
First time ever.
because it's the teeth that do force.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What-
the
Is
bite
that
does
8 or
force.
9?
It's
If it's
17. Oh,
17
8.
halved. 8.
17.
Yeah. Round down.
I was reading
Nice.
die.
Yeah.
Modifier.
And you... So, for the player-wise, now that we've actually experienced this,
Ugh.
if you roll below a 50% next time, he will not make it through. And each time this happens, that's going to be an increment of 25 going up. So you've got the chance of being saved. And BT's DC on that is also increased, as it's going to be the second chance.
Okay.
Can
Also-
we boost his stats? Can we boost? Can we reduce that number
They put
down?
a
Also,
stint
If I
in
got-
here
if
somewhere.
I start giving him some ibuprofen every day.
The
Some
chance of
bears.
you having an incident like this has also increased to 5% or lower instead of just 1%. So it's going to be more difficult.
Oh no.
Well,
Yep.
that hurt a lot. Big Tin. Thank you. Seems like my old age might catch up to me before the demons do. Better get a move on, I suppose. Big Tin, would you mind if would you carry me for a bit? Just a little less than my usual. You're muted if you said anything there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Snotsoup's gonna climb on top of Big Tin and just try to hold on and try to feel better because I'm sure he's still like aches.
Oh, it's super, super sore. And like around, there's going to be bruising where the paws were placed.
As they start to walk away, I'm going to look at Iago and I'm going to say, "Listen, buddy, I'm getting paid either way, but I'd much rather not be in the middle of a fight when this guy drops dead of old age. You and me were going to figure out something to push this old man along just long enough to get this done. Yeah?"
Yes, I do not understand what is going on, though. I am very confused.
One of those melons rolls between you two.
I'm going to look down at
What
the
is
melon,
this?
And I'm going to look up at Iago and then down at the melon. And I'm going to point at the melon. I'm going to say, Are you gonna explain it to him, or should I? And then I'm gonna wait a couple seconds.
It rolls again.
Okay. Then I'm gonna look back up at Iago and I'm gonna say, he had what is called a myocardial infarction. It is when some part of his heart is it's failing, whether or not it is a chamber or a valve or a vein connected to it. Trust me, I know. I've seen a couple. I've had a bunch of old friends. Okay, look around for, and I'm going to say a specific type of tree. I don't know if it's named something else in this world or not. I'm going to say the bark of that tree, if we boil it down into a tea, it's going to thin out his blood. It's going to make it a little bit easier in case he has another episode like this. That being said, it might not save his life.
Also, make him bleed out a lot faster if he gets stabbed.
Also make him bleed out a lot faster if he gets stabbed. But let's just say 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other.
Iago nods.
So that is, I'm going to describe. No stab. No stab. Exactly. I'm going to describe the leaves. I don't know if we're in the correct zone. Listen, I just know it exists. I don't know what sort of climate it exists in. So let's just keep an eye out for it. If we run across a town, we get some medication. Yeah?
I was going to say, alternatively, when we get to Hadar, we get, I don't know why I called it Hadar, that's weird. Hadar,
That's
we
a
get
Star Wars world.
medication. Oh,
Yep,
that's
it
why
is,
I
yeah.
called it Hadar.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get a prescription.
Depending on the... Listen, I've only been here like a couple weeks, so I don't know what your guys' pharmaceutical situation is on this continent. Over where I'm from, it's just slightly more advanced. Just slightly more advanced as far as that goes. Anyway, let's hope he doesn't have a heart attack anytime soon, right? And I'm gonna throw up both my hands real low to the ground. I'm gonna low to the ground so he can double high five me.
I will look confused at his hands for a moment, then I'll lift my hands and softly connect them to your hands.
Perfect. And break. And I'm gonna walk in the direction that those other two were walking.
Make
As
an
he's
acrobatics
walking
or
away.
athletics check.
The athletics check? Me? Who?
Acrobatics
Me?
or athletic? Yep. You.
Yeah, it's
or the other.
athletics. 16.
16. You spin and turn and accidentally catch your foot on one of these melons that's rolled behind you as you were having this conversation. And it doesn't budge. You're about to fall until you catch yourself and see around that the melons have overtaken the camp. They've all rolled into where you were.
Okay. Iago, for a little bit more flavor, what I catch myself on, I hold it for a couple seconds and I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I continue on my way.
As he walks off, Iago will look over at the melons, then look back over at him, then look back down at the melons and go, I mean, okay. And then I follow.
Oh, that's good. That was a good one. A 1? A 1! Who rolls it? Sorry.
Oh, we're all still
I
alive.
remember a campaign where 3 people rolled and not 1.
In a row.
It was bad.
In a row.
Bad things
It was
happened.
bad.
Very bad things. Alright, now. Whew, survived. Now you're traveling a couple of hours in, about an hour and a half or so. You end up reaching the air around you starts to get a bit more humid and thick. The smell of nature, boss, dead things start to fill your nostrils more. Iago, do you have your filters on right now, or are you just breathing normal, natural air?
Well, when would be a great time for Iago to turn the filters on?
About when you start smelling what you're smelling now, which is...
Okay. What am I smelling now?
what I
Sulfur?
just described. No.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Do you tell me?
Well, okay. That's where this comes in. Iago stops everyone, turns around and looks at everyone and says, "Do you smell that?"
I've been smoking a lot of cigars, so this is going to be an head disadvantage here.
Is this a naturey type of smell that I'm rolling for?
It is. It's a much thicker, so you don't actually have to roll for it.
Okay, cool.
You
Then
get it.
yes.
He's rolling
I
for
know.
flavors.
I was doing it for flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I smell that. I'm just. What?
Hey,
Get out.
hey, get out.
Hey, Siri, call mom.
No, don't say that. It can't
Don't
even
say-
say
please don't say
that.
that.
It comes in my earbuds. But so Snozboop is still sort of limp across Big Tin's back. I says, "Yeah, I kind of smell that."
You do not want to. He reaches up and you see him fiddle with the mask thing on his beak as he turns on his filters, and then he says, "Gas masks on, filters active. Time to not smell that anymore."
Okay, put on the mask.
Same, but I'm going to take a couple deep breaths. I'm going to do like the swimmer thing of like, in order to make this last as long as possible. I'm breathing as little as I need to.
You begin to venture into the swarms. For you... Yeah, you have actually been through this a few times now, Schnozboop. You didn't wear masks last time. It was something that was said to be recommended to have on you. However, with them tracking where the clouds are, something that was vaguely ever really detailed on, there was no need for it. But this, there is no general idea. You're going in by yourselves a little blind off of really old information. So there's the extra precaution being added to it. For you, BT, whenever the clouds are mentioned or anything this kind of danger, nothing's coming up in your memory banks as being related to this information. So this would be new information for you.
I'll start tracking it.
Yeah, and you're just in the dark completely, having come from a completely different continent.
Okay.
But the area begins to darken, even though it's the start of the day and the sun is rising. Foliage around thickening very quickly. And soon your boots start to make squelching noises as moisture is thick everywhere here. For this day's journey, who would like to roll a percentile dice?
Not me.
Not me.
I guess I will, because we just arrived in my location.
Yeah.
My 75.
75. It's going to be about 8 days of traveling, so 75 is going to be the first one of our checks that we do. As you pass through, the most difficulty you have is the terrain. The terrain is very rough to move through. Your boots sink in deeper. The foliage around seems to be alive at times, loosely gripping at you and trying to keep you where it is, so your boots come up a little rougher He kind of had to pull some grass petals or grass leaves out. A weird... It's more of a bluish lavender, like deep lavender look wherever you see these grass patches. And they do genuinely like curl around your boots and even pull out of the ground a little bit to try to grab. But you continue moving through. It's only going to be 20 miles accomplished in this day. So your journey was slowed through your process. You find a decent area to camp. How are you setting up camp?
Well, keeping in mind the likeliness of clouds or any other bad things, I will aid in setting up camp according to being in the marshes.
This is my question. It's probably mostly for the DM more than you, but if we go higher, is that better? If we string some hammocks across a couple trees here, is that going to be more advantageous?
Aren't the cities in the trees?
The cities are in the trees. Well, the Hadar is.
Yeah.
It's the only one that actually is in the swamps. Yeah, the two.
Yes, as high as we can go.
Okay, I'm going to... Okay, Snozboop is ever so slightly incapacitated, so me and Iago are going to string across some hammocks from like one base tree that's very strong to 4 separate trees that are close enough by that we can get all the hammocks, including Big Ten, because I don't know how this is going to affect Big Ten.
So, couple of things here. First one, we had an oversight, Vaughn, in the creation of your character. You should have, due to your background, proficiency in survival checks. Which your
I was
character
going
sheet...
to ask about that.
Yeah, you should because of your background. It does not show that. But it doesn't show that. So, when I say at this point, Iago, I'm going to ask a survival check from you, and it's going to be at advantage from the help from now to set up camp.
Survival at advantage.
Okay, and I will also, because, I can, bolstering magic.
Ooh, nice. So...
Add a D3 to that bad boy.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know something funny? I got my natural 20.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Can I reverse that?
Perfect. I think it has to be done before the roll, so no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it has to be used before the roll.
Did you roll the dice before I said?
No.
Okay.
I rolled the dice before.
Dang it.
No, I rolled these dice before you gave me.
Okay.
I rolled the D20s before you gave me the thing. I haven't actually rolled the D3 yet.
Oh, if you rolled the D20s before I gave him that.
Yes.
Cutting it close, but I'll allow it. You saved your bolstering magic.
We're getting a long
just making sure.
We're getting a long rest, potentially. How are you doing watches? Anyone doing watches? Or what have you got?
Oh, for sure.
Iago.
Yeah, the other dice I rolled a nat 1. Anyway, just so everyone knows, it's a 25 total.
Oh, where natural ones are always failures, natural 20s are always successes. That's how we do this one.
Yes, I should know this.
For a moment, Snozboop thinks about maybe he doesn't want to ever sleep again. But then he realizes he's not afraid to death. So he goes to sleep and doesn't take a watch.
Iago will take the... Yeah, Iago will take the middle watch.
Okay.
Or second watch, since there's just 2 of us making watches.
Yeah, it would be first and second, and then... Big
and
10
then someone taking
boys.
full.
Yeah.
Big 10
okay.
boys.
So then, now, Big 10, give me some perception checks.
15.
15.
First one's an 8.
Oh,
Nate.
that's so crooked though. Look at that, guys. Is that not?
No, that's straight
It's on
up.
a
You
2.
gotta. It's on the 2. It's the position of where
I mean,
it
it's
landed.
about
It looks
90%
like
on the 2, but it's about 10% on the 1. I just want the record to
Dub
show.
does a 2.
Yana.
Dub
Yana.
does it too. It's a total of 8. What did you get again now?
15.
15. Okay. You do see why, first off, you're higher up. One of the trees in a different spot, you witness some of its roots lift out of the ground and then solidly dig into it again. And an ever slight shift of its position.
Ox is here.
That's
Careful, guys. The Book of the Dead has been read. We're currently stuck in a cabin in Michigan.
And there's no end of night life as well. Like a lot of the smaller critters that you would expect to be out during the day, they're coming out during the night. And you do witness a few occasions where something that looks cute, adorable, and fluffy just viciously attack what looks to be a lizard and rip it to shreds.
This place is great. 10 out of 10, folks.
Would come again.
Visit the Globshack Marshes this next summer.
Guaranteed to stop your heart.
Guaranteed.
Wow.
Stop your heart.
Alright, that's it for first watch. Second watch.
Perception?
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't know what these are with these perception checks. I'm not doing the best
Oh,
right now.
Lord.
It's
18.
an 11.
18 and 11.
I need to attune myself to marsh.
It starts to get strangely cold for a while. For you, Iago, it's easily explained. This is natural. During the middle of the night, the marshes get bitterly cold for about 10 minutes at a time. Not always at the same time, but a general average area. It doesn't last too long, but then it starts to pick up in the temperature again. Now's teeth in his sleep starts chattering. While that happens, Schnauzboop as well, a little bit of a shiver, but they warm up easily enough. And for you, BT, this is an easy thing to notice as your systems monitor that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
just report to you that there was a 60 degree in Fahrenheit, not Celsius,
60
60.
degrees?
drop for, in the length of the 10 minutes, it dropped down a good 60, but it averages around that, more humid and hot, so roughly around 85. And it's been steady temperature ever since you got in. 85 ticking up the deeper you get in, just ever so slightly. But yeah, it dropped 60 for 10 minutes and then rose up again. And if your system
I'll ask
can't...
Yago, what is that?
That's
not natural.
Wow. Natural from what I understand it to be.
No.
No.
Calculating. Weather phenomena doesn't happen like that rapidly, that fast. That had to have been caused by an effect of some type.
Ladies and gentlemen, global warming is going to increase these numbers and also decrease these numbers at will, depending on what the planet wants to do. Sorry.
Well, now that we're off our soapbox.
Oh, I ain't
Okay.
off it. I ain't
The,
off it. I just let you continue.
It's also, to your history as well, BT, not something you've ever... Well, not that there's much you can draw from, but from what you do know, that's... Nothing of like that reported inside anything that was pre-built into you.
That occur often?
every night.
Okay, we'll watch it next time.
As for the last watch, what I'll say for the last watch, if we follow this general pattern, is instead, BT, give me a percentile dice.
I was gonna say I was taking it easy because I knew somebody else was watching.
Me no likey. Me no
That's
likey.
weird. I clicked the button and no dice show up.
Oh no!
Oh, there they are. There they
Oh.
are.
Just a little
Ouch.
Jesus Christ, guys. Christ. I'm gonna need us to pull it together. I'm gonna
Okay.
need us to pull it together.
Hey, BT,
We're doing great.
roll a d8.
Oh no.
Okay. Ah,
Oh no.
8.
I
Hey.
didn't celebrate. We're going to figure out what that was next week, everyone, as
That's a
we
party
close
Oh,
out for the night,
no.
as it is that
Oh.
time. As we
Oh no!
come back to this
Pray
lot on their
pray
second
for us.
day in the Glob Shack swamps with
And already
something.
everything is going
happening.
poorly.
We'll see you all
A
then.
heart attack on a 1%. I think I got what was it, like a 4%, and then you got a 1%, and then you just got a 3%. That's hilarious.
What a beautiful day. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
The air may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.